Hello, my name is Jordan Taylor, and today I would like to inform you about the channels of communication and how they affect our daily lifestyle in good and bad ways. So, according to the blog jitnuts.com, 93% of our communication is nonverbal. I find that very interesting that 90%, almost 100%, is nonverbal communication instead of verbal communication. And I chose this topic to do a speech on because sometimes I have troubles with nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is your posture, your facial expressions, sometimes eye contact if you're not making eye contact, and how you are listening to a person. According to helpguide.org, great nonverbal communication skills will be essential by putting people at ease, building trust between a specific group or person. An example of that would be if you are in an interview and a person is interviewing you is looking at their nonverbal and verbal communication. If you need to use your nonverbal skills correctly, if you do not use your nonverbal skills correctly, you will quickly fail this interview and lose an opportunity to get the job. So, in order to use your nonverbal communication skills correctly, an example of that would be answering the questions, making eye contact, maybe smiling, sitting up straight, having a great posture would be using your nonverbal skills correctly. According to the health guide, nonverbal communication can also be confusing or offensive. If you're slouching over like this or looking off and a person is talking to you, they may think that, oh my gosh, this is very disrespectful, or she's not interested in anything that I'm saying. And sometimes that's not a good thing. Well, most of the time it's not a good thing, because if someone is talking to you, such as your teacher or your professor, you always want to make eye contact with them to let them know that you care about what they're saying and to let them know that you are engaged in the message that the instructor is trying to give and that you want to know more. Overall, a good and bad nonverbal communication can affect how people view you. So therefore, it is always good to practice your nonverbal communication. The second communication that we're going to talk about is going to be the verbal communication. Verbal communication is how you talk to someone, if you're using good grammar and things in that nature. Being able to have excellent verbal and written communication skills is essential because once you relay a message to a reader or listener, the reader or listener cannot unsee or erase it from their memory. This message is now stuck into their heads. So if you relay it wrong, or if you make a mistake and give off the wrong body languages or mixed messages, there's nothing you can do about it. The message is out now. So according to aplusstoppers.com, the advantages of having excellent verbal communication are that it aids people to give faster feedback and is quite convenient for interaction amongst anyone. According to aplusstopper.com, the disadvantages of bad verbal communication are that it causes an inconvenience for long messages, and the conversation may drift into a different direction if unnecessary information is included. So therefore, you want to always make sure that you're staying on topic about what are you talking about. You want to make sure that the readers are engaged and that they understand. You want to make sure if you're asking questions to make sure no one is lost about what you're speaking about. Written communication and verbal communication advantages and disadvantages are somewhat similar, I would think, because the only difference is that written communication will be written down. And people may think, well, you can't really mess up on a written communication. But you also can, because sometimes we let our words just write out on the paper, and we don't always go over what we said. We may have grammar errors. We may not be speaking the right grammar, and people don't understand it. So you always have to make sure you check your grammar, check the message you're trying to relay, so no one gets confused. The last communication that I want to give to you is the visual communication. Visual communication is eye contact with the speaker or listener, and that is very essential if you're giving a speech or you're teaching a class. According to Creatively.com, the advantages of having a good visual communication are that you deliver information more directly. You are more flexible in verbal communication. You get more attention grabbing and engaging, and it makes an impact on the audience. For example, if you were giving a speech, making eye contact with the crowd and making sure that you were delivering the information that you wanted them to know, then it would be an example of good visual communication. According to BlueSkyGraphics.com, too much information can be overwhelming and may cause people to lose focus. Pictures communicate ideas more effectively than words, and people remember visuals better than details. When trying to explain something or give information, showing pictures of things that relate to your message for that audience could be better for the audience to understand, other than you just using words. In conclusion, our communication channels are critical, and one person needs to practice these skills and communication daily to make things smoother in life, at a job, in a classroom, or just with friends. All of the above. And I'm going to wrap this up today by saying I hope that you all practice on all your verbal communications skills, your nonverbal communication skills, visual communication skills, and written communication skills, so that you may live an easier and happier life at your job, or teaching your class, or being just friends with someone. Thank you so much, and I hope you all gathered enough information from me today to live on a happy life communicating with your friends, your peers, and your students. Thank you.